Ok, pues continuamos aquí hablando de lo que se llama no te autoincrimines o self-incrimination. Can you talk about that a little?
Absolutely. The why we're speaking about this today is because common law protects man and grants us more rights. Charges are brought in court not by fellow man, but by fictional entities, police, district attorneys, judges even. And man must say, if you admit to this, we'll only give you 5 years instead of 10. That's self-incrimination. No man is taking the stand and testify. Those are charges, and common law can put down those charges and free people, I believe, from prison.
Wow. Pues dentro de la ley común existen cargos ficticios e imaginarios donde los jueces, la policía, los fiscales de distrito, abogados y algunas agencias que son pagadas pueden radicarte un cargo sin que ningún hombre ni ninguna mujer haya sido dañada. Y lo que hace la ley común te da el derecho que si no hay ninguna persona que está siendo dañada, la ley común, cuando tú la reclamas, te puede sacar de la corte o hasta de prisión. Y aquí, civil service hiding behind titles. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so estas personas, los jueces, la policía, los fiscales de distritos, los abogados, son básicamente servidores públicos que se están escondiendo detrás de títulos. Y la Constitución de Estados Unidos no permite tampoco ningún título.
And so, you have another question. How can common law, how can the issue of charges be addressed in common law? In common law, there's no charges, there are claims. Okay. And a man testifies, takes a stand in court and testifies. This isn't charges. In common law, there's no statute of limitations.
Dentro de la ley común no hay un estatuto de limitaciones. Básicamente, tiene que haber alguien que haya sido dañado, ya sea monetariamente o corporalmente, que alguien le haya hecho daño físicamente. No existe códigos. ¿Qué viene siendo la propiedad? What is property?
Property in common law is anything that belongs to you. Your body, your time, your life, your rights, your children, your beliefs, whatever pertains to you. Certainly your children, you created your children. You're used to the term intellectual property. It's something you create. It's something you create and that belongs to you. Government may not own property. This is the problem with communism and socialism. When there's no private property, it doesn't just mean nobody owns their own farm. It means nobody has any rights.
Yes. Okay. La pregunta es ¿qué es la propiedad? La propiedad es cualquier cosa que te pertenece a ti. Y podemos empezar desde tu propio cuerpo, tu propia casa, tu vida, tus derechos, tus hijos. Tus hijos te pertenecen a ti, no le pertenecen al gobierno. Tus creencias, ya sean las creencias o las no creencias, y lo que tú quieras reclamar, que te pertenezca a ti. Dentro del comunismo o socialismo, no existen derechos de propiedad y no...
Wait, it stopped again. Okay, solamente
Siguiendo aquí la ley común y trial by require a jury for judgment. Can you explain that, please?
Certainly. In common law, there's no such thing as a judge. Judges are magistrates that merely sit and listen to a trial by jury and report it, proceedings. A trial by jury makes a decision. If two men, and by men I also mean women, cannot resolve something, it must be brought before a trial of your peers. This is different from a jury trial in the legal system where a judge tells the jury what it can and cannot do.
Pues dentro de la ley común, si dos hombres no están de acuerdo y entonces pueden procurar un juicio y básicamente este juicio va a ser por jurado y el juez lo único que tiene que hacer, el juez no decide el caso, sino que es el jurado y el juez lo que hace es, porque el juez es un magistrado que apunta o archiva los récords de esos procedimientos del juicio. So, si los hombres no pueden, cuando digo hombres, dos individuos no pueden llegar a un acuerdo, pues ellos pueden ir a un juicio para hacer entonces, para tener una decisión entonces. When it says common law, they have no voice, what are you referring to? And
in common law,
you mean they, el gobierno, the government?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
All the people with their titles.
Okay.
In the legal system, man has no voice.
Okay.
If a man tries to be their own lawyer, they are told, sorry, you're not a lawyer, you can't do it.
Mm.
So there's no way you can win as a man in common law. The legal system was devised to be of benefit to man, but it's been blown out of proportion and misused to seriously harm men and women in their lives. And we have the right through common law and better understanding it and practicing it to be able to live free.
Yeah, I want to tell you something that happened to me a few years back. I had to go to court, traffic court. So I was fixing my problem man to man. Hombre a hombre estaba tratando de solucionar el problema. But somebody called a police officer. So the police officer came and I got a phone call telling me that I have abandoned the accident scene. So I went back, I was talking to the police and he wrote me a citation. Me escribió un ticket y yo dije, pues, I'm going to see you in court because I'm going to fight this.
That would be a charge rather than a claim.
Yes. But I was fixing my problem man to man and we have already fixed it. He came afterwards. So él vino después y llegó el día del juicio y en la corte there's something I want to say, because when I was in the courtroom the police officer told the judge to change the charge. So to me it's two people working for the same corporation. So el policía como el juez, the judge was supposed to be an impartial person. El juez estaba supuesto a ser imparcial. Estaba del lado del policía en vez de ser imparcial. So the judge was siding with the police officer instead of being an impartial person. And we noticed that. And that is something that if I have brought common law, I will not be subject to those charges. So, common law and the legal system, la ley común y el sistema judicial son dos diferentes cosas. Can you explain what is the difference between the two and why we might confuse both with just one thing?
Okay, getting back to where we started in the video, common law is not codes, regulations. You don't even quote the Constitution. Common law are rights and wrongs. Your rights exist from God, not from the Constitution. Only supports your rights. The legal system really was developed to keep government in place, but it's been turned on man. The legal system, they want you to quote their codes, they want you to quote their documents. You don't know what they're talking about. And by they, I mean civil servants that work for a government agency. When they say property tax, you can ask them, what is property? What is tax? They depend on you, and it's a sneaky trick, to define what they're saying in their codes. And it's designed to entrap man.
So, básicamente la diferencia entre la ley común y el sistema legal es que en la ley común tus derechos están protegidos y el sistema legal o el sistema judicial fue creado con el propósito de proteger tus derechos, pero ellos se han encargado a poner diferentes códigos y estatutos que solamente ellos puedan entender para entrampar al pueblo y al hombre o al individuo, para entramparlos en su trampa, que valga la redundancia, y pueda autoincriminarse para ellos cobrar dinero. When you talk about beliefs, some people, their mind or their beliefs, they change every hour.
And that's okay. Man is allowed to do that.
Yes.
Man has unlimited rights. And where beliefs come in with people in prison under charges, a person in prison can say, I believed at one time that the charges were correct. Now I believe that no man took the stand and testified against me. If I did wrong, I require man to take the stand and testify. I would like to make restitution. If no man takes the stand, I require my freedom, or I will bring claim of trespass upon property on my life.
Okay. So, la gente tiene derecho a creer lo que ellos quieran creer, y hay gente que en verdad cambian su manera de creer de 8 a 10 veces al día o 20 veces al día, o en cada hora cambian su manera de pensar y de creer, y eso está bien dentro de la Constitución de Estados Unidos, y eso es un derecho que también Dios nos ha dado. Tú puedes creer o no creer lo que tú quieras o lo que no quieras creer. Y otra cosa es que si por tus creencias te llevan a la cárcel o a juicio, tú puedes reclamar al juez o a cualquiera que esté en corte diciendo, yo demando y exijo que a cualquier hombre o mujer que yo le haya hecho daño, que testifique en mi contra, porque yo quiero hacerle restitución del daño que yo le causé. Si ellos no producen un testigo o alguien que tú le hiciste daño, tú puedes demandarlos a ellos por haber traspasado tu propiedad. Y cuando estamos hablando de tu propiedad, es también tu tiempo. Tu tiempo, tu cuerpo y básicamente tu libertad, porque te privaron de hacer otras cosas te privaron de tu libertad, que es tu propiedad también, y te pusieron en la corte. So, tú puedes entonces demandarlos a ellos porque ellos son servidores públicos. Se supone que ellos están para servirte a ti, y si ellos no producen una persona a quien tú le hiciste daño para darle restitución, básicamente están también violando tus derechos. Agencies operate under the illusion of doing good, of the benefits. Las agencias operan bajo la ilusión que están haciendo un bien o están beneficiando al pueblo. Can you explain that?
Yes, it goes along with what you were just saying, that if no man, that it's a trespass upon property to be in prison just on charges. And so the claim is that you call whoever it is that brought charges, you call them by their name. This man, this woman, Susie Cupcake, Bob Schultz, he brought charges against me that resulted in trespass upon my property, imprisonment. Even the word arrest, it implies giving a rest. The reason why you can bring a charge against, say, a district attorney, he is a man or a woman, he or she is also a civil servant. As a civil servant, all of these people, lawyers, judges, cops, even the tax collector, they are all civil servants. What does that mean? They are meant to serve you. They are supposed to be providing a benefit, but they are actually creating harm. And when you point out that they have harmed you, they must back off because they are in violation of their oath if they harm you.
Pues básicamente, estas agencias de gobierno, cuando dicen que están haciendo bien o están beneficiando al pueblo, si uno de ellos está haciendo un traspaso a tu propiedad o a tu libertad, tú tienes que recordarle que ellos son servidores públicos y que también son hombres y mujeres. Ellos están ahí para hacer un trabajo, pero hay maneras de cómo lidiar con ellos. Ellos no pueden cambiar el hecho de hacer el bien o de hacer beneficio al pueblo para entonces hacerle daño a un individuo o a un hombre, porque entonces ellos están sujetos a ser demandados como servidor público y también como hombre o como mujer. Y esto es lo que lo que tenemos hasta ahora, y vamos a hacer un receso de 5 minutos y continuamos.